Hello everybody and welcome back to Timberborn. As always, I am Dor. Today we're going to go ahead and move some of the buildings that we have down here in the growing area to the infertile area up here so that it's kind of out of the way so we can go ahead and squeeze more berry bushes down. So I went ahead and disabled the farm because realistically we don't need it, right? We need a bunch of berry bushes if we want to go ahead and continue reproducing our beavers here, since the berries are the only thing that I think these breeding pods actually use. It didn't seem to swap over to carrots. I can't actually change this in the little building thing here, so I think we have to use berries. So I figured why not just have our entire area just populated with as much berries as we can so that we have a ton of food coming through, and then we can also use that to go ahead and produce new beavers as well, because in all honesty I don't know what this thing does. Like, we can increase the nutrition 2 and 3 thing by planting carrots and potatoes and the wheat, I believe it was, but I don't know what that does. Like, I don't know if the happier they are the faster they reproduce or the longer they live or whatever this thing does. I don't know, but we're not going to bother with it too much here because we are in the diorama map here, so we don't have a whole lot of room to wiggle with. So we're just going to go ahead and move things away from this area and start planting down a bunch of berry bushes. So let's go ahead and throw this into 1x mode, and then we can go ahead and unpause our forestry building over here so that we can actually place berry bushes down with it. And while we're at it, we can also delete the farmhouse so it's not in the way anymore. We are going to have to remove this place eventually, but when we do that, I would like to have the power thing, this thing here, that allows us to go up a level, because right now we can't do that. So even if we were to move this right now, we couldn't move it anywhere up here because we don't have this thing unlocked yet, which we could do. It's only 80 points, so sure, but we also need gears, which is another 100 points, which we have enough for. So we might be able to go ahead and do that, but we need to place one of these buildings down here just so that we can go ahead and produce some gears to go ahead and be able to do that to begin with. But let's go ahead and have the forestry guy go ahead and start planting down as many berry bushes as they can. So over here on the bottom bit, we'll go ahead and fill this area up with as much berry bushes as we can, because this little bottom area is going to be fertile pretty much year round, pretty much, I think, because there's really not much pulling the water out of the area here. Over here by the buildings and stuff, we can go ahead and place down the berry bushes. Actually, let me see what the radius is. We can fill this little area with it without an issue. We would have to place down another one closer to this area if we wanted to fill in the gaps that don't have any bushes in them right now. So for right now, we can just go ahead and do this and go from the back of the building over. And then we can fill in this little area as well, and that little area should be fine. I think we can do parts of this side of the map as well. Yeah, if we go ahead and click on it, we can go ahead and start from there, I think it was. Yeah, from there over to this corner here. So let me plop that there. And yeah, we can fill that in with a bunch of berries as well. We might run into water issues now that we're doing this. But once all of these berry bushes are planted, we can go ahead and come back through and clear the planting order so that we don't have the farmland all tilled up and stuff, because the berry bushes don't get removed from the ground once they produce their crop. So we can go ahead and turn the grass back green once we have all this stuff planted here. We also have all of these things planted now. It's just going to take us a little while to have them grow, all the maple trees that we have in this area now, which is going to come in handy, I think, as they start being matured to go ahead and get harvested. I also went ahead and removed all of the lumber in this area. I think there was a little forest over here that we went ahead and removed, and we have a road going all the way over to the metal now. So if we click on our district thing, we are just within range of being able to go ahead and harvest the metal now, but we don't have a way of processing it through just yet because we don't have those things unlocked, which is another 550 points. So that's going to take us a little while to actually get to, but when we do get to it, then we have the metal already available for us to go ahead and start harvesting. If we need some quick little lumber, we can go ahead and harvest this little thing of lumber there, or build a staircase up to that guy there and get some lumber that way while we wait for these trees to mature. But let's go ahead and move our storage buildings up here right now. So we need these guys. We don't have the bigger ones unlocked. We don't have the points for it. So let's go ahead and place down these little ones again, and we'll go ahead and just place this one there. Oh, I kind of wish it was kind of off center, just a smidge. That would have been great. Let's go ahead and place it there. We might be able to go ahead and squeeze in a science building right here, and we can still go inside of that place, or we can place down the water containers right there as well, just to go ahead and have some water going on in that area. And we can go ahead and just connect a pathway out like that. That should be fine. And how many did we have down? We had 3 of the water things down, not 2 of them. So we might need to go ahead and place down more of those actually, just to go ahead and keep up the amount that we had down already. Actually, we're also going to place down another one of the warehouses too, because we're going to be producing a bunch of berries and we're going to need a ton of storage now. The storage that we have now isn't going to be enough. So let's go ahead and place that one there. And then we can go ahead and place 2 more water things and connect those in with the pathway here. And that should work pretty nicely. I'm going to go ahead and let these things kind of process a little bit here because I have mowers going in the background. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, mowers are gone. So let's go ahead and place down one of the barracks here so that we can go ahead and remove these houses eventually and then kind of rearrange them. And right now we only need 1 house down because all of our beavers died from the start and we kind of needed 2 houses to start things off with and not so much now. So once these things start getting built, why is nothing happening? Maybe because we don't have the beavers working, right? We only have 1 actual worker in the building producing stuff or moving things around. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's why it's going to take so long. Okay, so let's actually pause our science buildings because we really aren't generating that fast and we don't really need the science at the moment. We kind of do, but we kind of don't. So let me go ahead and move them over to the worker building. And that way we can go ahead and hopefully have some of our buildings over here get built so we can go ahead and start moving stuff around so that we can go ahead and remove these buildings at least and then fill the area with the berry bushes as much as we can here. Okay, so we did need more lumber, so I have them harvesting up the little forest that was up here by the metal area, and we have the buildings pretty much coming together right now. I went ahead and made this one not accept any berries, but I was a little late to it, so we do have some berries in there. Right now I'm having them empty the storage here so that we can go ahead and set it to have everything but berries going into here, and we'll have these 2 ones hold the berries that we're producing, so we should have about 400 berries every time we go into a drought here. Hopefully that's going to be enough for us, at least for the early game here. It should be enough. I'm going to go ahead and set this little area up as a breeding area as well, since we need a bunch of these guys coming out of here. So let's go ahead and just fill this little zone up with these things so we can go ahead and just place them along the side here like that. That way this little space is being used by something, and then we can go ahead and run a little pathway down and connect in the building and everything else right here. So something like that should work. And then we have another little 2-space gap here. We can either place down 1 more of the water things here just to kind of use that space like that, and that way we have water right next to the thing, or we can go ahead and place something else, which I'm not quite sure what we should place there if it's not going to be the water. But for right now I think we will go ahead and place the water. We need 15 of the logs to go ahead and build it, but that way hopefully these things get water a little bit quicker than they are, or this one is right now, since it's going to be right next to it. And then we're going to have food over here, so actually no, let's go ahead and remove that. Never mind. Let's leave that blank for right now. We might place something there, we might not. We can even place down like storage buildings and stuff and try and wiggle our way around here so we can use as much space as we can right here in this little corner instead of wasting any space that we can't really afford to do right now. So our water containers over here are now getting emptied since they don't have anything to build. Actually, they have these things to build, but they're just not doing it, I guess, because they don't have the logs. I'm not quite sure. But we can go ahead and delete this one because it's empty. We're not going to lose anything other than the material we used to make the thing. And that gives us a little bit of space here. I'm going to wait until all of these other things are able to be removed before I go ahead and place down any more berries. But it looks like our berry guy is done with placing down berry bushes. So we can go ahead and come back through and clear these things now so that we don't have the dirt texture on the ground here. And again, they don't have to come back through and plant anymore, so it's not going to make a difference. We do need it for the lumber here, but we don't need it for the berry bushes. So that makes everything look a little bit better here. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit here till we go ahead and get these things emptied so we can go ahead and place down the rest of the berry bushes. So most of the stuff is done getting built. We have 1 more breeding pod, and then that's it for the buildings that we placed down. These things are almost empty. There's 115 items left in that and 22 water left in the tank. But eventually those will go ahead and get emptied out. We do have some gears on us now, so we should be able to go ahead and place down one of these guys, which we need planks and gears for, which we have enough to make 1 of them. We should. So all we need is some axles going down this way and then having it go up to this level, and we'll go ahead and place down these guys over here which for right now it's really not that big of an issue, but it'll kind of clear up some space here at least. So we're going to need a bunch of platforms going over the top of these things, which we don't have the ability to unlock because we can't go ahead and block the walkway or remove the berry bushes, which we don't really want to do. So we're going to need these guys, which we need to go ahead and turn our science back on to go ahead and produce that, which we don't have the people to do. Yeah, we only have one beaver, so we're going to be generating a little bit of science here. And so we're going to need 2 of the power things to get it to the point where it needs to go. Actually, only 1, because we need it to go from the power wheel up 1 layer to the layer that the walkways are on. And then we need that just to go straight down and then plug into a building. And then we can kind of just plug buildings into each other to go ahead and spread the power around. So it's not too bad here. But we're not going to be able to do that until we get the 100 points to actually unlock the thing. I could have sworn I unlocked this thing already, but I must not have. I guess we unlocked the staircase and not this thing. I guess, since we don't have it unlocked, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, we don't have it unlocked, so we can't exactly go ahead and do that just yet. And let's see. Yeah, these didn't move any. I don't know why. I just checked them again. Let's go ahead and have this guy plant some more berries here just to go ahead and use up the space that's over here. And it looks like we can place things down behind our district hubs. So let's go ahead and do that as well, just to go ahead and get as many down as we can. And that should be good. So once he plants those, that's great. We might need more houses because I didn't realize just how fast we're kind of reproducing now, especially since this one was kind of constantly being fed its stuff. So now we're back up to 11 beavers and we need 2 houses because only 10 of them can actually live in each one of these houses. And the next house unlocks at 400 science. So yeah, that's not going to happen for a little while here. We could go ahead and place down the houses above the storage containers, just to kind of help clear some space here. But again, we can't actually access those because we don't have the platforms right now. So it would be kind of a waste of resources doing that. So let's actually go ahead and place the houses over here just to kind of use the space that we kind of already set in motion here. So we'll have the doorway facing the storage container. And we can go ahead and place another one over in this section here. And then if we go ahead and flip this house around, that'll go ahead and use up that whole little area just to go ahead and have houses down. And we can go ahead and connect that in with a pathway since that's the only one that's not going to be connected. And we should be kind of okay. We have a little opening here if we want to go ahead and cram one of the water things down or a staircase up to the top layer maybe. And then we have some more room around here to go ahead and wiggle some more stuff in. We only need one of these houses built right now, actually. So do any of these have logs in them? This one has logs in it already, so let's prioritize that one. Pause these ones, just so we get one of them built, and I can go ahead and remove this guy and get it out of the way. So we have a drought rolling in less than a day, which isn't too great for us because we don't have a whole lot of water backlogged, and I think we might have hit a point where one of these is no longer able to keep up with the amount of beavers we have down. So we might honestly want to go ahead and squeeze another one down so we can actually get rid of some of these bushes here just to go ahead and do that, since they're not really producing anything right now. They're going to take a few days to actually mature to produce. So let's go ahead and place down one here. We might be a little too late going into the drought, though, to actually have this make a difference. So we might kind of lose a couple beavers during this drought. I'm not quite sure. But let's go ahead and have them clear out these little bushes here. I think it's only a 2 by 2 little area, isn't it? I can't really, oh, I guess I could check right here. Yeah, 2 by 2 little area, and then the little pipe thing comes out the back end here. So those front ones don't necessarily need to go, but the one on the walkway does. So can I cancel this one? So there we go. Once the bushes are gone, we should be able to go ahead and place one of the water consuming things right here to go ahead and pull up some water for our beavers, and maybe that'll be enough water going into the next little drought. Once these things, also these breeding pods, produce their beaver that they're going to produce, I'm going to pause them because that's going to put us up to 16 beavers, almost at capacity on the houses that we have down right now, and I really don't need that many beavers at the moment, especially since we can control when they produce and when they don't produce. I'm going to go ahead and pause them so that we don't get overrun with beavers, especially right now during the drought. Once these guys pop out, it's going to be during the drought, which is not going to be great for us. Or I guess I could pause it right now, right? Yeah, I could pause it so that we don't have to deal with them in the drought, because we're already going to be a little strained on water. So if we pause them now, we don't have to deal with the water. We're not going to be too off with the food, I don't think, because what I did last drought is I have them harvesting these berries all season, I guess, before the drought kicks off. And then I go ahead and pause this one so they don't produce any more berries from this patch. and then they go over to this area because this place is not harvested during the season, and I only use this during the drought so that we have food coming in still, so that we don't starve to death. And it seemed to kind of work out the last little drought here. Once we got the little walkway through and built the little dam here, the area around here stayed hydrated through the drought, so we should be good going into this next one, other than the slight little water issue that we might be running into. I'm not quite sure just yet, but I think that's actually going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. Next episode, we'll go ahead and hopefully have enough science to move these buildings up to this layer so that we can go ahead and fill in the berries that we can. And hopefully by that point, these things are also empty. They're taking their sweet time to empty, which, I mean, it's great, I guess, but it's not good since I want to go ahead and fill the area with berries as much as I can here. But hopefully by next episode, we have enough points to go ahead and unlock this thing, which we do currently have enough points to do. So that's great for us. We have exactly 101 points to go ahead and do that. So next episode, we should be able to go ahead and move all of our stuff up here, all of our manufacturing stuff up here for the time being. But for right now, that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.